Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. And if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. It is Friday, July 21st, 2023. I had to come and speak about this incident that happened, this tragic incident, and this happened in New Jersey about 2 days ago. And I just gotta say, I had come here a couple episodes back and I spoke to you guys about how these days people are so they're not using diligence in their workplace, right? Everybody wants to do everything rushing. That's why you go out, you order food to pick up, and then they miss your order, and you think they got your order right, but everybody's rushing these days, right? And as we are all rushing, doing things, not paying attention, right? Not paying attention to details, we're also on our cell phones, right? Checking social media, checking everything, and listening. You see everybody, they don't even hear, like, they're always wearing those little headphones, the AirPods, and they're always with those things on, and you see people talking on like on the store, and you're like, is she talking to me or she's with somebody on the phone? And it's like, I get so frustrated with that, right? That's one of my biggest pet peeve when people don't pay attention. Like, you're trying to explain to somebody something, and they're always like, yeah, 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 I got you. And then they get it wrong. It's like, at least let people finish, right? Listen to the instructions before you say yeah. Like, nobody wants to be seen like they don't know something, right? So they say yeah, yeah, yeah to everything. And at the end of the day, they're not even paying attention. And you're like, that's what I told you before. That's what I said. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so frustrating. But what happened in this case is worse because somebody died because of the careless action of somebody, okay? And it's such a sad story. I gotta tell you, when people have a family member in their home that needs help 24/7, and like that's kind of like in my case with my mom, right? So that's why I'm so thankful for my sister who's able to basically live with her and help her. um when I see parents, right? The other day, some time ago, I was at the mall and I was just sitting in the food court, and out next to me was a family, right? And you could tell they had a child who was special needs, right? And this child was in a carriage, and then they had another kind of younger sister also around. And it's almost like the whole family was dedicated to the care of that child with special needs. And I saw a dad feeding her. I saw the young sibling trying to play with the kid also, and then the mom was there too, helping out. And I was like, that is so beautiful to see the whole family dedicating themselves, kind of being there for this child with special needs. And I can only imagine what this family, whom I'm going to speak about now, is going through right now. They have a special needs child, only 6 years old, right? And she's in a wheelchair. This family gets the services of public school bus to pick the child up from their house and dropping her off at the school. And they trust the school system. They trust that people are being trained. They trust that besides being trained and hire for a job, people are being followed and or observed, right? And kind of like seeing if they're actually doing good job, because I think, when you're dealing with people with kids with special needs, you need an additional training. You need an additional kind of like, a more in-depth, I guess you can say, skills to deal with something, because you don't want to miss out on anything, right? They communicate differently, right? They're not gonna tell you if they're, in a lot of cases, obviously, they're not going to tell you if they're thirsty. They're not going to tell you if they cannot breathe, right? So I'm assuming that people who are in charge of special needs kids go to an additional training that other people perhaps that don't take care of special needs kids will go through. So this case is so frustrating. It is so beyond being super sad, and it's just shocking to see a family in so much pain because they lost their 6-year-old daughter to a negligence, right? To a negligence of a worker who was too busy with her AirPods on her 2 ears and being on the phone while she was supposed to be taking care of a special needs kids, right? So it's just so sad. I don't even know, like, I don't even know, like, what people's mentality is these days. Like, like, be thankful that you have a job, number one, right? You are hired to do a job, and you're so consumed with technology and having make sure you have your music on. Nobody can work without music these days, right? Everybody has to have that. And everybody has to be talking on the phone too these days. It's like you are at work, okay? You deal with special needs kids. Pay more attention. You don't need your headphones on. You don't need to be on your phone, especially if you're in charge of also driving a bus, right? So let me just read to you this briefly, right? A New Jersey school bus monitor has been charged with manslaughter in the heartbreaking death of a 6-year-old special needs girl strangled by her wheelchair harness while the monitor was allegedly on her cell phone. The little girl, Faja Williams, was buckled in the back of the bus by Amanda Davila, 27 years old. That's the name of the school bus monitor. Um, Buckled up in the back of the bus for the Monday ride this week, right? And she was going to an extended year program at Franklin Township in Somerset County. During the trip, Davila was sitting near the front of the vehicle and was utilizing her cell phone while wearing earbuds, headphones, on both ears, of course, right? Because we have to be, everybody is so needed these days. You cannot say, I'm at work right now, I cannot talk to you, right? That's still possible. You can also say that to people. Okay, you don't have to answer in the moment. And I'm getting annoyed because, like I said to you guys before, my mom, she has dementia. So a couple years back, she was at a nursing home, right? So, like I said before, this is another reminder. If you have a parent or somebody or a loved one, right, in a nursing home, check on your people, because just like as this incident happened, you encounter the same workers everywhere. Like I said, you go to a restaurant, they're not paying attention, right? You go to buy clothing, you have these young kids. I'm not trying to say anything about the young kids, right? There's a lot of people who you can tell they're so young and they're so mature and they're so professional when they are talking to you. But then you have the other opposite of that, which are people who are just not paying attention and they want to earn a paycheck and not do their job right. So yes, check on your people, right? And it gets me frustrated, especially because people who take care of special needs kids and people in nursing homes, they go through an extensive training, right? It's expected for them to do so, right? And companies is also blaming the companies that don't follow through. There's not enough staff that say, hey, we just hired this person 2 weeks ago, you think she's good to handle like kids already, like to have so many kids? Is she on her phone? Like, can you remind her she's not supposed to be on her phone when she's at work or something, only for emergencies? But these days they're hiring anybody, right? Because people, that's another thing, people don't want to work. So I don't even know how people are making a living, right? That's another frustration that they hire basically anybody. That's why bad cases come out of nursing homes, right? That's why I say check on your people. I'm going to repeat myself. Check for behavior, something that changed. Go there, every night if you can for at least dinner time. If you just see that your family member is not even looking at you in the face, something's changed. something, they're not eating right, they're losing weight, right? Something is going on, and you need to, be the advocate for them, right? Um, so they're hiring people. Yeah, yeah, you hire. Like in these companies, they don't even follow through to supervise people, right? They have all these supervisors who are just, they have a title and that's basically it, right? And they're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? Then you have a case like this when a child died out of negligence of somebody who was, what could she be doing? You're hired to deal with special needs kids. Do you need to have headphones on? Do you need to be on your phone? Like, are you just trying to earn a paycheck? And now that my mom is at my sister's house, we have these caretakers that go to the house, right? And throughout the years, we have seen them come and go, right? Because she's like, this is your job, basically. You're gonna be here, you know, cook some food for one person, right? You just have to cook food for one person and just talk to her, just be there with her, keep her company. And even so, it's almost like that's not even a good enough job. People don't show up, right? They call out saying that they cannot make it, or you have to remind them, hey, why you can put the TV on for her. Like, are you serious? This is the most easiest job ever, and we still have to be on top of you so that you can do it. People these days, they just want to earn a paycheck, and it is so frustrating. Okay, it is frustrating that right now we're speaking about a 6-year-old who died out of the negligence of somebody who was too busy in her job, connected to this all these devices that we have, right? That she couldn't even say, wait a second, a 6-year-old child with special needs, why is she in the back of the bus, first of all, right? It's not even normal to you. Like, wouldn't you be like, I'm gonna put her right here so I can be, so I can be closer to her in case she needs me, right? I remember when my mom started with the dementia, and I was so concerned that she might just leave the house because when she will get upset, there was nobody stopping her from leaving the house, right? So I remember one day I was so tired just coming out of an event. I'm like, I just need a nap right now. Like, I am exhausted. So what I did was I took her to my room. I put her on my computer desk, and I said, "You can sit here, mom. She used to do this kind of like knitting thing. So I will set her up in my computer desk while I was in my bed, like taking a nap. But I will put her the TV on, just so that I can keep an eye on her, because it will be so what do you call that, irresponsible for me to be like, let her be in the living room and be like, okay, I'm going to my room to take a nap, okay, knowing that she has something that if she leaves the house, she's not going to be able to come back, right? Because she will not remember, and she will leave or put the stove on, right, while I will be taking a nap, and then that could have caused a fire, or she will leave and like get hit by a car or something, or disappear and probably never come back. It will be very irresponsible for me to just let her be, right? So I will make sure that she was within my eyesight, right? I'm like, I will bring her down to my room, set her up, like I said, lock the door, right? Because I didn't want her to leave. Because I think, when she was in that stage of the dementia, she has so much energy, she wouldn't get tired. So she was on constantly, right? And I think a lot of this medication that they give to these people, they don't really help them that much, right? But going back to this, before I run out of time here, this case, so now the school bus monitor, Amanda Davila, 27 years old, has been charged with manslaughter. And it's so sad because you know, now she's going to learn this. And her life has basically changed. Just as the life of the parents of Naja Williams has changed. They care for the child. You can look at it from the photos. I wish I'm gonna see if I can get photos for you guys. If you're listening in the podcast, come to the channel. You can just search for her. Let me see if I can get one here. You can see that this child was very cared for by her family. Her family came and did a like a she they came to the news already and spoke, and they look so distraught. I can only imagine. They, like I said, when a child is born like that and with special needs, you could tell that they're all like the whole family, like the family I saw at the mall, the whole family is basically dedicated to that child. And it's so sad that we encounter something like this out of negligence, right? Look what technology has done to us. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, as much as I do all this internet stuff, right? The social media and, here in the podcast on YouTube and all of that, when this is the thing, I feel like sometimes, because I post so much, people think I'm always on my phone. I don't sometimes I don't even know where my phone is. And I just post stuff and I don't even like go back and look at it. That's why a lot of the other day I realized somebody sent me a message like back in March. I'm like, oh man, I never reply. Like I don't, you know, it's all assumption. I don't even like check or follow through, and then I'm like, why am I getting so many notifications? I'm like, oh, that's right, I posted something not long ago. But it's just sad. Like once again, I hope that society changes. People, they just want to earn a paycheck these days. They get hired, to get these jobs to deal with people with special needs, with people in nursing homes, and they're just, if the company doesn't follow through and check on their employees enough, this is what things like this happen out of negligence. Because I guarantee you, I think she wasn't in that job for a while. I think she was a new hire too. I guarantee you, somebody who had worked for many years would have known better to at least not put the child so far back, or you know or be close to her or check on her, or would not have had headphones on. Because if you hear it's something dropping, right? Because they say the wheelchair, excuse me, fell down, right? And that's why the harness kind of like killed the child, which is so sad to even say that. You can only imagine. Like another person who probably had more experience would have known, like, and it would have hear something. So why you have your two headphones on and you're on your phone? You don't. It's like if you're dealing with kids, you're not gonna hear anything if they're calling out for help. People these days, they just want to earn a paycheck. Here she is. This is the photo that they're showing of the school bus monitor, Davila. That's her name, Amanda Davila. Upon responding to the location, officers administered CPR to the 6-year-old. The statement said the youngster was pronounced dead at the local hospital. She did not deserve this to be taken away from us in such a way that had nothing to do with her condition. That's what the mom said. So, guys, if I find, I hope they post a GoFundMe link or something. I was looking for it, couldn't find one yet. So if they do, I'm gonna put an update here so we can all help this family out. Keep the family in your prayers. I gotta stop now because I am running out of time. Thank you so much for being here, and let me know what you guys think about this. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.